Welcome back. Welcome aboard. And Evan, welcome home.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's been a long absence. I think we've all just been pretty busy with our schedules. I know I have been traveling quite a bit myself, currently in Houston, Texas. So, but hey, it's good to be back. I mean, we have a ton to cover today, from the NFL draft, a little bit of NFL news, some NBA, NHL playoffs, a lot going on there, and just some other tidbits, some fun things to talk about. The Kentucky Derby. But yeah, no, great to be back, Boone. What are you excited to get into today?
I tell you what, I'm not excited to get into the NBA draft lottery. Um, it all started when Ron Artest was sheep shotted by that douchebag Ben Wallace, and David Stern, may he rest in piss, decided to only punish the Pacers, knowing that the Pacers and the Pistons were the only two teams vying for the East that year. Um, and his little butt buddy, his little frog faced, bald idiot mentee, Adam Silver, that piece of scum, the most rigged, useless organization in all of sports, the National Basketball Association, has done it to the Pacers again. Now we'll get into some of the trade nonsense and giving up or the risk that the Pacers GM took in the trade they got for Zubac. Um, just another abhorrent and very clear rigging of powers that the NBA is just so desperate to get the Chicago Bulls, a historically dog shit franchise, if you take away the second best player of all time, except for that little 6 year
We're not
run he
getting into
had.
that today, too. Jesus
This is my
Christ.
opening, not yours.
The first best
Uh,
basketball player of all time.
outside of that one guy's career, Chicago has been the biggest. Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Bears are the same picture, Your Honor, minus the Bulls had an actual winning window. Chicago is just the most overrated, uh, sad, useless excuse of a sports city, and I say all that while wearing a Wrigley Field hat. Because listen, the Cubbies are historic, and Wrigley is just an unbelievable place to go watch baseball.
So here's my argument on that. From a winning perspective, yes. However, Chicago does have a great fan base for other sports. I have to give credit there.
Okay, but like it doesn't take a lot to have a great fan base. Like the
No,
Buffalo,
no, no.
the
I'm just
Buffalo
like,
Bills
the
have a
winning
great fan
culture isn't
base.
great, but I would still consider Chicago a great sports city, despite the. I would say Chicago is probably a better sports city than New York City for sure. Actually,
Oh
100%.
yeah. I would, yeah, but New York City is just a cesspool of
Yeah.
dumbassery.
Well, Boone, here, I got to be honest with you. Before we get too further into this, I do have one side note. And this is going to be the first ever Nobody Asked Show food review. And this is a food review that really nobody actually asked for. And it's a food item nobody fucking asked for. I don't know where this came from. I saw this on TikTok earlier today. And it got a great review from the TikTok I saw. And it's one of those things I saw and I'm like, I got to go fucking try that. Me and you have long talked about how good pickles are. Pickles are just a fantastic little
Yeah.
treat. I don't personally eat enough pickles as I should. What we have neither of us have talked about, or neither of us have ever requested, is a pickle smoothie.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, Grillo's, who is a fine manufacturer of some fine pickles, highly recommend some Grillo's pickles, has combined with Smoothie King to produce a pickle smoothie. And listen, I saw this TikTok. First thing I did was I went and Googled where is the closest Smoothie King to me. It was about zero point 0.2 miles from my hotel. So what did I do right before this podcast? I went and got myself a Grillo's Pickles smoothie
That
from
just
Smoothie King.
that just looks.
And it sounds awful. It sounds awful, and I'm a pickle lover. But the review said it was good. She was a little hesitant as well. So I'm going to give a live review here on air real quick. It's absolutely incredible.
What?
Yeah, it's it's like a fruit smoothie with like the refreshingness of a crisp pickle with a slight like pickle aftertone. It, it's a little kind of sour on the tongue, so the first like touch is a little weird. After that, once it starts flowing, it's delicious. It's actually really good.
A a pickle milkshake is just it's just something that
So, so, so it's a smoothie. I don't know if
okay
there's any
okay
no ice cream or anything in it, but it's a smoothie.
a pickle. I gotta I gotta dig into some of this. There's Grillo pickle milkshake smoothie. All right, the grill. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's good.
it's a Grillo's pickles bananas apple juice blend, kiwi apple juice blend, electrolyte blend, water and coconut water and kale. The Grillo's pickle smoothie. Um, this is one of those things that whoever invented this should be locked up forever or win a Nobel Peace
Yeah,
Prize.
yeah. Like here's the thing. Even though it's good, I don't like that this was tried. It's just a little questionable for me.
Listen,
Am I going to go and have like this is I don't I think it's a limited time item. I probably will have one more,
yeah,
but I think it's one of those things you have once in a blue moon. I don't think I'd be sipping this every day.
yeah. Quick question for you, just some housekeeping. Am I echoey at all on you, or is the audio sound fine?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, perfect. So as you probably noticed, Charles Walker, who's not with us today, um, no clue where he is. Charlie is our token Brit, and he's also our tech guy. So if this doesn't come out, Charlie Walker will be posting his Twitter handles and his email, or his personal email, for the five of you that listen to get mad at him. Unless he's not actually safe, in which case, we hope that he's
Yeah,
fine.
that'd be a tough look.
Yeah.
Then whoever abducted him or he's having issues, we will give you their ats and emails as well,
Yeah.
just so someone can still get some hate mail.
Yeah, man. Don't fuck with cats. Social media warriors. They still have a place. The Grillo's pickle smoothie. When you texted me and said I have a food review to start the show off with, not what I was thinking. Not what I was thinking at all.
No, no. I will. Unfortunately, I am going to be going to a Houston Astros game tonight by myself, kind of right after we get off the pod, and I will be kind of doing a little bit of a food tour of the stadium. So that's something I
Okay.
like to do.
Okay.
Listen, people, if you're ever traveling alone, and especially during the summer, you got nothing to do, or you're sick of going to dinner by yourself, go to a baseball game by yourself. It's a great time. You enjoy, relax, hang out, different atmosphere, have some beers, have some good food, and then if you get bored, you just fucking leave. It's wonderful. And I
Yeah.
might go tomorrow too, depending how baseball out I am, because I love a day game. There's a game at 1 p.m. I mean, I could take a little 2-hour lunch break, just go hang out at the park. We'll see. I
Who
might be out of that after tonight.
who's
But
on the schedule? Who they got?
they got the Mariners,
Okay.
so
The Mariners.
nothing super exciting. The Astros aren't playing good at all this year, but it's a fun thing to do. Unfortunately, I have been to the park before, but it'll still be a good time.
Yeah. Um. Well, listen, we got some stuff to get into. We haven't chopped it up here in a little bit. Where do you want to start? Obviously the NFL draft has happened. It's been
Yeah.
a couple weeks since then. Obviously we can touch on some stuff. NBA playoffs, hot and heavy. We know two of the four teams that are going to be in their respective conference finals, both doing it in sweeps. Or we can talk a little chell if you want, a little ice hockey.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the NFL draft here. I think it's, we were texting a lot back and forth during the NFL draft, and I had said this a little bit before the draft. It was such an interesting draft because there really was not a ton of high-end talent in this draft. And even if you looked at after really the first 5 picks, maybe the first 10 or so, maybe about the first 10, it just went. Nobody had any idea which way that draft was going to go.
No.
Even the first 10 was a little surprising to me. My mock draft was absolutely abysmal. From a people to in the correct order perspective, it was okay and who got drafted. But wow, it was a fun draft. It was definitely shocking. I mean, I think the first shock kind of came at pick 3, and then from there on out, it was just interesting. Overall, I loved it. It was a great draft to watch. It was a ton of fun. I had a lot of fun following it. I think there was definitely some big winners and some big losers. And I have, we can get to this in a minute. My bold take following the draft is one that I think is going to surprise you, but also make you rather happy if it were to come to fruition.
Okay.
The Patriots overall, I think, had a draft where, and I can dive into this here a little more, it was just it was a draft is kind of how I would
Yeah.
describe the Patriots draft. It didn't shock anybody really. I think there was definitely things they could have done to have a much better draft, and there was also things they could have done to have a much worse draft. It was just okay, didn't excite me at all.
Yeah.
What did you think of your Colts draft? Of course, you didn't get a pick on day one there, but
Yeah, and that's just what Indiana teams do nowadays, is we just don't have first round picks. It is fine. Um, I so the Jets with our 16th pick took Kenyon Sadiq, and the way my brain works is who won the trade based on who you got. They got a worse tight end than we have already on our roster with the pick we gave them. And there was a lot better talent, I thought, still on the board. Colts win that draft. There's 1 point Colts. If Sauce Gardner plays up to what I hope he can be, then we'll double win that draft 2 points. But kind of getting into it, I thought, and I'm looking really quick just to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn here. Um, outside of Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, I thought the Colts got the best linebacker in the draft. Neither of those guys are middle linebackers in the way that I see CJ Allen projecting him to be. CJ Allen's absolute beast. They did what the Eagles have done in the past historically with taking a linebacker from Georgia. I like that move. So CJ Allen, I saw him going as high as like early 20s in that draft. I thought he was
I had him in the first round talent.
I thought he
I
was
was
the
shocked
steal of the
he was
draft.
still available. Shocked. It just, I mean, maybe it begs the question, maybe, because I looked through, no injury issues or anything like that. Maybe some personality things on that, but, he's a Georgia linebacker. I think we kind of all expect that kind of thing
Well,
coming out of the University of Georgia.
fortunately for us, and this is for those of you not from Indiana, the Indiana's state motto is the crossroads of America. Um, there's no windy roads in Indianapolis or in Indiana as a whole. Every single road is straight like this. So just from a car crash perspective, minimize that risk immediately. There's no hills. There's not that many people, so really flat. Really mitigate some risk there. And then I loved our pick in the third round, AJ Halsey from LSU. Obviously, losing Nick Cross to the Commanders in free agency, super super tough. Nick Cross is a guy that we drafted young. We developed. He turned into one of the top tacklers in the NFL, especially from the secondary position. So that was tough. But Halsey projects to be kind of that same guy. And then just from what I'm hearing out of camp, Seth McGowan is the running back from Kentucky. People are super, super high on him. He's looked really strong coming into rookie mini camps and things like that. And then Deion Burks. I can tell you with 99% confidence that I'm 50% sure which Deion Burks or who Deion Burks is. And of that 50%, I'm 35% sure he was a fast guy. I'm 35% that I'm 50% that I'm 90% right. I was
I
obviously,
like those odds.
yeah, I was a journalism major, so naturally my math is strong. But he's a guy that I like as well. And just a speedster outside. Turns out he's probably gonna be 6'8", 290, and he's just gonna be like a possession guy. Who knows? But overall, I mean, not having a first round pick, I thought Ballard and the crew did a really good job. I thought we filled positions of need. I personally would have at the Jalen Farmer pick in the fourth round. I would have just taken the swing on Jamad McCoy. I Injury is injury, but in a fourth round, getting a guy in the fourth round that's projected as a high first round talent, I think that's worth the swing. But obviously, I'm not in those meetings. I don't know what has happened. Yeah, overall, I'm super pumped with our haul from the draft. Uh, this was just a kind of a strange draft in general. Yeah, you mentioned it. There was just not a lot of consensus. Like if you look at one person's board, they'll have. I'm trying to find somebody specific to put in to mention here, but like a Monroe Freeling, the tackle out of Georgia. There are some drafts where he's a third rounder, some drafts where he's the best tackle, and then other drafts where he's like a low first, high second. Um, there's a lot of that. It seems like. I thought there was
Yep.
probably five true blue chippers in this draft as far as like these guys are first round talents in any draft, and that's Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, um, Spencer or Francis Mauigoa, and then That might honestly be it. Those four oh
Uh,
Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah.
Sorry. Um
Yeah.
like those
I
five.
mean, I would add in a Fernando Mendoza to that as well.
So
Is he a first overall pick in every draft? No. Is he a first round pick in every draft? Yes.
maybe, but like think about it. Who would you have taken Fernando Mendoza over Caleb Williams? Both.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, stop it. Both when they're coming out, stop it. No, you wouldn't have.
I don't know. Maybe.
Fernando Mendoza or
I,
Joe
I,
Burrow.
I Burrow, but like I hated the way Caleb Williams played football. So like that's why that's a different question for me.
Okay.
Like I didn't like Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. I didn't like many of the quarterbacks in that class. However, I did get my guy in Drake May, but I was not historically not
Yeah.
high in Drake May. I read that draft awfully. I thought I liked JJ McCarthy a lot in that draft. So that's hand up accountability. I didn't read that draft well at all. In hindsight,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mendoza's
Joe Burrow, no, but like I just think Mendoza gets drafted in the first round. Maybe that's in the 20s in other drafts. I don't know. I mean, next year is going to be really interesting to see all the quarterbacks coming out. It'll be a completely different vibe of the
yeah.
draft for sure.
Next
Um,
year's already looks crazy. And looking at the
but
the 2027 quarterbacks projected, you've got Arch, Dante Moore, Julian Sains, CJ Carr, Darian Mensah, Lenora Sellers, um, Big Books, Brendan Sorsby. The guy loves to gamble. Trinidad Chambliss, who I didn't think was allowed to play college football again. Um,
yeah, I don't know on that.
and then you have the guys like Messamaker who went to Oklahoma State, the kid from North Texas. He can sling it. You've got John Latier, who's my age, still playing college football. Um, Jaden Mayava is a guy that everyone's super high on out of Southern Cal. And then Sam Levitt, a guy who is probably going to throw up some crazy numbers. He gives me a Jackson Dart kind of vibe, where he just thinks he's really sick, likes to put his head down and run. I'm unsure what he's going to do. Um, but yeah, the next year's quarterback class projects to be all time as well. You said you had some additional takes on this year's NFL draft. What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, I mean, let me first dive into the Patriots
Yeah,
draft. Like I said, it was okay. I just want to break down a little bit. Caleb Lomu. I not shocked with the pick. I think he was kind of that edge first round, second round talent. Like you said, there's a lot of players in different spots on people's big boards. I saw him in some drafts, middle of the first round guy, kind of the highest he was. Listen, he's a good pick in the sense that he's a potential replacement at right tackle for Morgan Moses, who's probably gone after this year. He's one of those guys who's played versatile on the offensive line. He played a lot of left tackle and right tackle. The one thing I didn't love, if you kind of look at this pick, is he kind of got drafted either he's not really going to play this year unless he replaces Will Campbell, which I guess is entirely a possibility. He's going to be a rotational offensive lineman. So I don't love wasting a first round pick on a developmental offensive lineman. That I don't love necessarily. I do like the pick a lot from a player perspective. Because he played a lot of left tackle in college, so maybe he ends up playing some guard for us. I don't know. It'll be a good competition next year between Will and Campbell to get that starting left tackle spot because that's where he played primarily in college. And then if not, the other guy is going to get converted to be a true right tackle. Or maybe that happens a little bit this year as you get ready to back up Morgan Moses. Like that, the guy, Gabe Jacas, I believe is the guy's name from Illinois. I don't know much on him. He was a little bit of a surprise pick for me there. But everything I've seen seems like he's going to be a great player. My favorite pick of the draft actually came in the third round, drafting the tight ends out of Notre Dame. Tight end's a spot where we've kind of been lacking with some depth in years previous, really just relying on Hunter Henry. So I think he could be a very good opportunity guy. And I think tight ends from Notre Dame, they don't tend to be the superstars, but they tend to be very consistent, very reliable tight ends in the NFL. Always good product. He's got a great build on him. I want to say he's like 6'7", 6'6". Pretty athletic guy. Oh, fuck you. I hate that you did that. God damn it, you just ruined my day.
six
Um,
six six. He's 6'6".
and then additionally, just the cornerback out of Wake Forest. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't really know much on him. I don't know much about Wake Forest football players. Sounds pretty good.
You say
And then, the
quarterback
running
or
back late,
quarterback or cornerback?
corner,
Okay.
corner. Um, and then we got, let's see. We ended up taking that quarterback. We got a couple late round guys. The quarterback out of Texas Tech. That I just don't understand that. That guy's not going to do anything for me. And then Jam Miller, the running back out of Alabama. Not a huge producer for Alabama, but never know with a
Well,
guy like that on your team. So
he was hurt a lot this year, and when he was playing, he was like a missing piece of that offense. So like that's at that spot, that's a good pick. Fun
yeah,
fun little
that's
fun little
what I said. I'm
stat for
happy with
you.
that.
Fun little stat for you on Notre Dame tight ends. Every single Notre Dame starting tight end since like pre Jeff Samardzija, which I know is not a tight end, but it's just like that's my basis there.
Yep.
Has been an NFL draft pick.
Yeah. So like, listen, they produce a good product.
Yeah,
Um,
big guys that can block. You got yourself an extra offensive lineman.
so here's the thing on this guy. This guy's more of a receiving threat, from my understanding.
Okay,
Um, then he's a little bit lankier. He's a little bit, not lankier, speedier than some of the
okay.
previous tight ends that you think of. But we'll see with that. I think he probably needs to put on a little bit of weight.
Um,
But overall, good draft for the Patriots. And now, let me. I'm not sure if you have anything you want to comment on the Patriots draft before I give you my
I
news that I think you'll be very excited for.
got nothing on the Patriots draft.
All right. Well, my surprise at the draft, and a team that arguably had the worst draft, if you look back, and that's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Listen, they gave up so much for Travis Hunter, who ended up being injured. I've historically not been high on Travis Hunter in the NFL. I will continue to be there, and I will continue to be historically low on the Jacksonville Jaguars. A team I am picking to finish last in the AFC South this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now. I watched a lot of college football this year, and I don't recognize a lot of these guys. First off, they took two
Just
guys
a
back.
bad performance.
They took two guys back to back from a school we don't recognize. Maryland's got some good DBs at times. I just, they spent a lot of money to draft a guy to play two positions last year, and he's not going to play. He's only going to play cornerback now, I heard, going forward. In a large part because Jacoby Myers was just what Travis Hunter projected to be as a receiver, but better. Yeah, I love that. Jacksonville has always done this thing, and I appreciate them doing it. It's where they'll kind of pop up and be, the Jaguars. What are they going to build for? And they just somehow figure out a way to fuck it up. I love that it's that little brainiac GM they have that tried to flaunt his ball knowledge, and it's just like he is appearing to be a clown like we all thought he might be. So I appreciate their service. I'm glad. And the Titans,
Also,
I don't think I'm not high on what the Titans did necessarily in the draft either. I like Carnell Tate. I think he was the best receiver in this draft. I think you got to go and get a receiver for what's the guy's name? The quarterback.
oh God,
Miami
Cam
kid.
Ward.
Yeah. You got to go do that. I thought this was a historically weak receiver draft. I'm not high on Mekhi Lemon. I do like Jordan Tyson a lot, but that's if he stays healthy. But yeah, Carnell Tate. I mean, he's good, but how much of that was because he was never double covered? I don't know.
Yep. Also, a quick thing on the Jacksonville Jaguars, or as I should mention, the Orlando Jaguars, as they will not be playing in Jacksonville this year. So.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Renovations to Duval, so they will not be playing there. So it's a perfect year for them to just be outright awful.
Those are two of the worst cities in Florida, but one is so much significantly worse than the other one. Orlando is just the absolute worst place in the entire contiguous 50, maybe the worst. I mean, Disney is cool, but Disney is so cool they're like, hey, we're Disney, we're not even Orlando. Like they carved themselves out.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando is good if you're going directly to the amusement parks and back to your hotel.
Yeah.
And preferably your hotel is on either in Universal or in Disney.
Yeah.
That's about really kind of where you want to stay. And there's like one street of good bars, or good restaurants, excuse me. Other than that, probably don't do anything in that city.
Another draft that I thought was just pretty terrible. Let me just confirm before I throw the full shade at him. Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, it's not that I don't like the players necessarily. Well, yeah, no, it is. I love Jeremiah Love, and I hate everyone else in this draft. Um, they Basantis, I think, could be good. He's from that school in Texas we don't acknowledge, but Carson Beck, the first round or the first pick of the third round, I've never been a Carson Beck believer. I will never be a Carson Beck believer. They got, in my opinion, the best player or the second best player, depending on how you feel about him versus Caleb Downs. I thought those are the two best players, position aside. Excuse me. But Jeremiah Love, like, who's blocking for him? Who, like, how are they going to make?
Yeah.
This is just the Giants with Saquon Barkley to me, and then you've got to feel bad for Tyler Algier. Goes from drafted to the Falcons as a rookie, solid rookie year. Then they take Bijan. He has a couple good years backing up Bijan. Signs with the Cardinals in free agency, and they turn around and immediately draft Jeremiah Love. I mean,
Yeah, like if you're him, you got to be like, this is why I came here to be
yeah,
the number one guy. And then you're not going to be the number one guy. I'm telling you right now, Jeremiah Love's the number
yeah,
one guy.
yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. The only other player I don't mind on their draft list is the receiver out of Texas Tech, Virgil. He's okay.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't like anybody that was drafted there.
Who do you think got the biggest steal of the draft?
Cowboys Downs at 11
Okay, okay.
because
I was thinking a little bit lower down.
He's my number one. He was my number one player in the draft. He was my number one player in the draft.
Okay. Um,
I have Love as 2.
I gotta be honest, man. The Miami Dolphins stealing Jacob Rodriguez at 43. God, I love that pick. I think he's an absolute
I
stud.
think he's going to be incredible.
I
That
think
guy's
he's
just
an
a winner.
absolute stud. But the Miami Dolphins, looking at their team as a whole,
Yeah.
there's just not.
They had a good draft.
Yeah, I mean, I've got,
You know,
but they only had. It looks like I'm looking now. They only got 3 picks, 4 picks. Is that?
yeah, but I think they also picked up a good, I don't know. Did they pick up some picks for next year too? I could be wrong on that. But you also got to think the Miami Dolphins aren't a win now team.
No.
They just don't have the salary cap at all to really even consider that. The NFC East, top to bottom, had a good draft.
Yeah,
I mean, you knew the Eagles would. The Cowboys arguably had the best draft in my opinion. The Giants, 2 fantastic top 10 picks. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I mean, the Giants just got to sit there and be like, we'll take 2 of the best players in the draft.
also, I mean, Miami Dolphins, I want to see here.
Yeah.
They took Proctor, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a little bit of a stretch for Proctor. He's listen, he's a great player when he's like playing at the right size. I mean, they said a lot of post-draft interviews. He's going to be living in Miami with a newfound shit ton of money. Listen, there's a lot of good restaurants in Miami. There's a lot of nightclubs. I don't know if that guy's going to keep off the weight to be at a good playing weight for the Miami
Yeah.
Dolphins. That's a big concern.
And I don't know what this list I was looking at. The Dolphins had 12 picks.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, for whatever reason, I was only seeing 3. Because I really do like that kid from Texas, Michael Taff. I think he's good as well. I just watched a lot of him
Yeah.
play. He's kind of a gritty, smaller but lays to the wood kind of safety.
So I think the Miami Dolphins had a great draft 2 through 7. I think they had a bad first round.
Well, let's talk about the guy that went right after Caden Proctor. The Rams with a chance to really capitalize on this last year or two of Stafford. And we don't know what's happened in conversations behind the scenes. Like, did Stafford say, "Hey, this is my last run"? They've got a shot to take a guy that they like up there. Man, I would take a good player I would take a receiver of some sort like that can get you, and then hope that next year you can get like I don't know, a Sorsby.
Well-
A Sorsby in round 2 next year, something like that.
Well, there's just no need to take this guy at pick 13.
He wasn't. This is the guy who couldn't beat out Jalen Milroe, who nobody likes.
This guy could have been taken at least middle of or late first round. Like probably, I mean, I'm be honest, he should have been taken on day 2. Like trade up to get an early second round pick.
Yeah.
Don't take him at 13.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's-
I don't necessarily hate that they took Ty Simpson. I don't necessarily hate that. I don't hate it. I hate where they took him.
Yeah,
Like, I get taking him, but taking him there is asinine and just flat out stupid. It's not smart.
I agree.
Especially like you mentioned, if it's going to be your last year or two with Stafford, get everything in position to make one last run for the thing. I mean, and it's not going to be tough. I mean, that Seahawks team is going to be fantastic again this year.
Yeah. And speaking of them, kind of my last note on the draft because I do have to go at like 7:05 ish. The Jadarian Price to the Seahawks. A lot of people hated that pick. I loved that pick.
I liked it a lot.
I mean, they lost they lost Kenneth Walker. You've got Charbonnet coming back from injury, but like Jadarian Price was a guy who we looked at a lot because we had the future on Jeremiah Love to win the Heisman, and Jadarian Price stole is the wrong word because he made use of a lot of those carries, but I mean I thought there was a case that he was the second best running back in college football last year in a lot of ways. I mean he's a good ball
I
player.
think yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, let's jump over to NHL and the NBA. Well, let's do NHL real quick, and then we can dive into the NBA. But before we do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to my guy Stephon Diggs. Beat the case. Like I said, it was all fucking bullshit beforehand. I had my guys back from start to finish on this one, and luckily, this is one of those times where it was a slam dunk. It was absolute bullshit. I was a little worried this was going to get pushed on. Honestly, I hate. Listen, to accuse someone of something like this and not have repercussions when it was just so clearly bullshit, if you watched any of that court case, is just ridiculous. That needs to be reevaluated. I'd be interested to see if there's a chance he comes back to New England. However, I think A.J. Brown is going to be coming to New England here within the next month. So
Yeah, what is that? June 1st is projected. Like that's when the cap
yeah,
hit.
I think something. It could very easily happen. Listen, it was basically signed, sealed, and delivered when the Eagles drafted Jordan Tyson. That was the biggest.
The Eagles didn't.
Clear.
The
And
Eagles
whoever-
didn't draft Jordan Tyson. That was the Saints. They drafted Mekhi
Oh,
Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon. My bad. Which I didn't like as a pick, but I don't like Mekhi Lemon.
I didn't like it as a pick either, but I did like it. I liked
It
it.
was you had to take him there. You had to take him there.
I liked it as a pick after hearing that was it the Steelers or on the phone with him telling them they're going to pick him. I always love
I
those
heard
stories.
that.
The clip of him be like, wait, why's Philly calling me? Like that was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the ice, to the ice. We've got the hometown team, my hometown team, not the team I root for, but the Hurricanes have yet to lose a game in these here NHL playoffs. They're just a fun team to watch. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying how much fun or how little fun they are to watch. Me, Mr. Not No Hockey guy, I've had a good time. I can't complain. Where do you see it? You might be a bigger hockey guy than I am.
I am. Listen, I have good for the Hurricanes. I've never had any problems watching the Hurricanes. Who's not a fun hockey team to watch, and maybe I'm a little biased because they beat my Bruins. And listen, the Bruins weren't a Stanley Cup championship team this year, but the Buffalo Sabres are not fun to watch. They're really boring in my mind. But I like the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they're an exciting team. They have a fantastic fan base.
Yeah.
So got to give credit there. Another team that I do really enjoy watching, in the series I've loved, even though it looks like Colorado's about to kind of finish that one up, is the Colorado and
Minnesota.
the Minnesota. Quinn Hughes is just so fun to watch all the time. He's so exciting. And the Avalanche are just that's my pick to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I think they're just so good and so fun to watch. But I've loved watching them. Unfortunately, I always hate when Connor McDavid gets knocked out of the playoffs just because he makes the game so exciting. But I mean, I guess Edmonton just didn't have it this year.
He was up I think he had a broken foot. They said afterwards.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He played. Yeah, so he got hurt early in the playoffs, and then he finished playing as hockey players are known to do. But he had a broken foot the whole time. Yeah, I mean, it's just like. This guy, hockey tough is obviously a joke that's said or a thing that's said, maybe not a joke, but he's just been a beast. And then Vegas and the Ducks. Listen, I'm anti Anaheim Ducks until they go back. I'm glad they put the logo back to the Mighty Ducks logo. Go back to the Mighty Ducks colorway, and then you've got me on board. I will jump ship immediately and just blind root for your team. But until you do that, I'm out. I think you're right. I think it's going to be Avs Canes in the Stanley Cup final, but you never know. Like the way that
Yeah,
the way that Buffalo has kind of gone around the Sabres, just because that's kind of how the Buffalo fan base is. Um, and then the Canadians back in when they play at home. Granted, the Sabres won the last game there, but the Canadians, from all I've heard, have the best home ice environment in all of hockey. So.
yeah,
I probably won't be tuning in game to game until this next round. The next round is when I'll start locking in entirely. I've been too invested in the NBA.
yeah. I've kind of been the opposite. With hockey, I just like hockey more than the NBA product, especially once the Celtics are out, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, I mean, the NHL playoffs are the closest sport to March Madness in the sense that really anything can happen in the playoffs, which makes them just the second, in my opinion, the best pro sports playoffs by far and away.
Typically, I would agree
If
with
I'm
you, but like this has been a more drab NHL playoffs to me. We've got one game seven so far. That's it. Again, the Hurricanes haven't lost a game yet. The Avs have only lost one game. Wow, crush the pickle.
Also, yeah, just for this was not a hoax. I actually very much enjoyed this pickle smoothie, so I just want that to be very abundantly
Was
clear
it
too.
was it
But
sweet at all, or did it really just taste like pickles?
yeah, it didn't really taste like pickles.
Hmm,
It was like a pickle tone or like an undertone almost, um, with like kind of like the refreshingness of a pickle,
that's so strange.
and then like a little bit of a sour, like a the dill like pickle, like that
Yeah,
dill
yeah.
like bitterness when you start. You can get that a little bit,
Okay,
and then it's just kind of into fruit, but it was good.
that's so odd. Um,
Um,
yeah, I've got
yeah,
nothing.
I get what you're saying. It hasn't been the best NHL playoffs, but I'm not going to take that statement and then say, oh, there's better playoffs than the
Oh yeah,
NHL. But
listen.
this year is like
Yeah,
outsider.
it's a one year sample size.
Yeah.
It'll I fully anticipate the ads to close it down tonight. I just don't think the Wild have enough to win. And I think this is back in Colorado. Yeah, it's back in Colorado tonight. I think they probably sew it up. I might go pretty big on the ads tonight. Um, yeah, that's all I got on Puck.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we jump to the NBA real quick that we can break down, I did just want to say, listen, you hate the draft lottery picks and Adam Silver, David Stern. Speaking of old farts that I would hope just rot and piss for the rest of their lives, John Henry and the Red Sox cleaning house and then not having the ball sack to show up to the goddamn press conference is one of the biggest disrespects of all time. Shout out to my guy Jason Veritek for being not fired but saying going to designate you for a new assignment. He just said "fuck you, I'm fired" and left as well. So listen, the Red Sox suck right now. I mean, sell the goddamn team. I'm hearing rumors we might trade for Mike Trout. That would maybe get me back interested in the Red Sox, but I think this year's send it. John Henry, if you don't sell the team this offseason, I really hope people start going to your house with pitchforks. Just what an all-time scumbag. Why are you holding on to a team you don't want to see good things happen to? I just don't understand that from an owner's perspective. He's literally owning them to say I own the Red Sox. All right, that's my rant. Let's talk some round ball.
Yeah, I have not tuned into any theme ball recently, but yeah, y'all suck. I mean it's so or like baseball like wake me up in like August, like and not even like all of August, like the first 2 weeks of August when it's like kind of competitive and but football hasn't started yet. Like I just don't care. Um, you can catch me at a Charlotte Knights game and I'll be rooting for the Knights, but that's about it, man. I just don't think I
Yeah.
give a shit. Um, NBA
Yes, I'm kind of the
playoffs.
same way. Like I love going. Like I'll go to any baseball game if I'm in a new city. Someone wants to go. I love going. If the Red Sox are good, you will see me tuning in throughout the year. But like right now, I'm not just gonna get pissed off watching the Red Sox every night. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So if they get good again or above 500, I'll start tuning in to more games. And when I say watch, I'll have my laptop open watching otherwise. But let me first jump into round ball. Let me kick it off by saying Celtics. Listen, I've had some time to digest. Just an all-time bad performance. Just you can't do that. However,
Can't lose to Philly.
in hindsight, I
Can't lose
wasn't
to Philly.
expecting anything this year, anyways. But I'm not gonna. That's a loser mentality. It pissed me the fuck off. Jason Tatum should have played Game 7. Listen, Going from hockey guy tough, basketball guy tough is the exact opposite of that. Didn't like some of the things. I think there might be a little. Listen, we got to go out and get a big man. This shooting stuff, like, it's fantastic. But once it comes playoff basketball time, you have to kind of have a big man that can score a little bit, I think. And they just don't really have that, relying too much on the outside shooting at points. So that's my rant on the Celtics as well. But I've kind of moved past it. Listen, I thought that team could win a championship going into the playoffs. Clearly, they could not. But in hindsight, listen, I wasn't expecting anything this year. Anyways, loser mentality. Got to get back next year.
See, it's interesting you say that just because the East is so weak. Like the Knicks have just been running roughshod through the East, and I mean the Knicks are good, sure. I'm on Knicks hate watch right now. I hate the New York Knicks. They're my least favorite team in professional sports, and that's largely because of the belt to ass we've been giving them the last couple of years, and they've just been crybabies about it. Um, doesn't surprise me that they've made this run when the big bad Pacers aren't around, but this East has just been so bad. Bless you. Um,
Thank you. Whew.
the, this playoffs as a whole haven't been great. I mean, the Pistons just can't put teams away. The Cavaliers are fine. You've got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. Neither can play defense. Uh, I didn't realize this. Somebody pointed this out to me on Twitter, I think. Donovan Mitchell he's just a guy that didn't grow. Donovan Mitchell is 6'1". Can you guess what size shoe he wears?
Like 14.
17. Can you guess his wingspan?
Like 6'8".
8 feet.
That I didn't know he had that lanky of arms. That's not normal.
Nah, let me just check that last one.
That sounds a little ridiculous. Dude.
Oh, 6'10". Sorry, 6'10". Not 8 feet.
Okay.
The second it came out of
like
my
I was gonna say Wemby has an 8-foot wingspan.
Yeah, the second it came out of my mouth, I was like, that's not right. Oh, but yeah, either way,
Yeah.
size 17 shoe and a 6'10" wingspan for 6'1" guy, like that's just ridiculous. He's a guy who just like stopped growing. I don't know what he did. But yeah, listen, these playoffs. I mean, I still think the Pistons will get out of the game against the Cavs, but I would be lying if I said I didn't want to see a James Harden Game 7 in the Garden. I think that'd be hilarious, especially if it turns out to be the one. Like my dream scenario is the Cavaliers Knicks go to 7, and James Harden has his one like iconic Game 7 moment where he actually doesn't suck, and eliminates the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. That'd be unbelievable. But at the end of the day, it's the Thunder. It's the Thunder are going to win this again. I mean, the Spurs obviously they look great. Wembanyama is an absolute all time freak. Just watching him play, seeing him hit a dribble step back three is just unbelievable. He had 12 blocks in Game 1 against the Wolves. 12 blocks is ridiculous. He's blocking people shooting threes. Like that's just kind of stuff that doesn't happen. I was texting you this the other day, watching like 6'6" and 6'7" and 6'8" NBA players guarding or trying to guard Victor Wembanyama is like watching humans try to beat the Navi in Avatar. It's just like they're just like running and jumping full speed at him, and he's just catching the ball. The Spurs have this play where they just throw like a little lob pass from the free throw line, and Wembanyama catches it and dunks it at the same time. He just like kind of caresses it into the basket. He's an absolute treat to watch, but I have a hard time believing anybody but the Thunder are going to win this NBA playoffs. Just the way that they dispatch teams. I thought the Lakers did everything they wanted to do against the Thunder. I thought they had a good game plan. I thought they started the games well. I think anybody who's still hating on LeBron James didn't watch that series. Skip Bayless, you're a piece of shit, and I've never met anybody who's just made a career off one like someone else's success. But LeBron averaging like 25 and 14 points and assists. I think he had 14 rebounds in the eliminating game, all with like Rui Hachimura as the second leading scorer. Like that's just what LeBron has done in this playoffs is unbelievable. But at the end of the day, it's the Thunder. The Thunder have just they're the best team, and it's not really close. And all that said, they got the Clippers pick at like 12 for this upcoming draft.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just think it's the Thunder's to lose unless Wemby just has some just retardedly good series next. So I do think the Spurs will get out of
I do
that against
too.
the Timberwolves.
I hope they do
Um,
just because I think they match up better. Um, like if they don't, if the Spurs don't get out, Anthony Edwards, whose knee just like went backwards 2 weeks ago, he's gonna have to average 55 points a game for them to have any shot against these Thunder.
yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. And I mean the Thunder. I mean I was listening to something on the Thunder probably at some point last week. Just how much fun those guys are having play
Yeah.
basketball versus a lot of other teams. Like it just looks like they're a bunch of guys that are all friends playing basketball together. They just feed off of each other. They all play really hard. I mean, it helps when you guys are probably all young guys. Like that locker room just seems like it's a vibe. And I'm a huge proponent of basketball is a little bit different, and you don't see it as being as much of an impact, but it's clearly an impact, I think, for the Thunder that just having a locker room that vibes together, they all enjoy playing with each other. They play pretty unselfishly. It's evident in how much better they're playing, and then just the talent again is there as well.
This is what the
So
Thunder, what the process was supposed to be.
yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
So I just unfortunately I think it's and hopefully we're wrong. I think the NBA and NHL playoffs just kind of have clear runaway guys to win it. Two clear best teams
I think the
in
NHL
their
could get
respective
the NHL
sports.
could get more competitive just because the nature of hockey and like
Yeah,
each like Shea like the starting guys for the Thunder are going to play 35 to 40 minutes a game when it gets down to it. Whereas in hockey, like like 30 minutes a game is like the most possibly your like best guys can play. And I think that's even
yeah,
still
I mean,
pretty
100%.
that's even still
I
like a
mean,
lot.
if you can do 30 minutes ice time, you're having
That's
a fucking afternoon.
that's what I'm thinking. Like it's usually like 22 to 23, isn't it? For like ice
Yeah, your
time.
best players are probably on the ice, and that's like a defenseman doing like 23 to. You might see some at like 25,
Yeah.
26, but that's it rare.
So like yeah, it's just too different. Like the NHL, you've really got to look at like the top three or four lines versus like Isaiah Joe is playing 10 minutes a game for the Thunder. I mean, they're good 10 minutes. Don't get me wrong, but um, yeah, I mean the Thunder, it's the Thunder's to lose. I say all that to say is this. I hope the Spurs don't win it this year, only because we're about to be in the era of the Spurs again. Like all those guys with Wemby is so young. I think he's in his third year. Castle, I think, is in his fourth year. Ron Harper Jr. has been unbelievable. And then even De'Aaron Fox, like he's not that old. I mean, he's probably 30. But like the Thunder, they're poised to go on a long, long time run. Um, they're like the meme from Breaking Bad. Like they can't keep getting away with this. They tank for a little bit, then they get a generational big, and they go on and win 4 or 5 championships. They're probably going to be the biggest contenders when the Wemby era is over, assuming he stays healthy for all of it. They're going to be the team that's like, okay, it's Celtics, Lakers, and then Spurs as far as like franchise championship. Like they're going to start putting their name near that category at the end of this Wemby.
You think so?
I do. I mean, just watching Wemby, I'm surprised they ever lose games. Like he's unbelievable to watch. He's legitimately the best basketball player I think I've ever seen. And it's not even and I'm a huge LeBron guy. He can do everything. He can dribble. He can shoot. He like his rebounds. He's not even getting off the floor. He's just reaching over people. Like it should be an over the back, but he's just so much.
He does look like just a goddamn fucking alien.
He's just so much
Just an
taller
alien.
than everybody. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, for sure. Um, I mean, I don't have much else. I
No,
mean, on
I got to run
we
to a soccer game, but
kind of got a little bit to,
sorry, go ahead.
but yeah. Listen, this upcoming weekend we got the PGA Championship, so I'm pretty excited
Yeah,
for that. Always sprinkle money on Brooks Koepka in the
yeah,
PGA Championship.
absolutely.
That's or any major really.
Dude,
Um,
did you see what happened to me this past weekend?
I did not know.
So I went to the Quail Hollow, I guess the Truist Championship as it's known now, here in Charlotte. It used to be the Wells Fargo Championship. And I went on Friday, had a work call. my employer knew I was at the tournament, so I'm not outing myself. And on the odd chance they listen to this, but I had a client call, so I was booted up with the headphones, standing next to I think it was the eighth fairway, and all of a sudden I get yanked by one of the ushers. They were yelling for, couldn't hear it. I was locked into whatever was being talked about. Guy almost hits me. Turns out the guy who almost hits me is Wrighton, the Norwegian guy. I can't remember his first name now. Um, he at the time he had just bogeyed, or he would go on to bogey that hole, and I was like, fuck it, let me see what his odds are. Plus 1750, threw a future on him to win the whole thing. After he almost hits me, the next, 2 rounds and the back nine of Friday, 12 birdies, one eagle, three bogeys, wins the tournament moments after almost hitting
Wow.
me. 12 to win
Wow.
222.
You probably should reach out to him, see if he would be willing to take you out golfing or something. It sounds like he owes you.
Yeah, dude, I mean,
For you being for you being a moron and taking a work call in the way of golf.
dude,
But
he got his PGA Tour card now for the next like 7 years or whatever. So he's in every tournament he wants to play in. Just life changing stuff for a guy who almost quit the PGA Tour to do YouTube golf. Um,
yeah, well, looks like he should probably be taking you out.
yeah,
That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah. He's not reached back out to me on Twitter yet.
Maybe an
Christopher,
autograph
his name's
ball.
Christopher Wrighton,
And
but
then
he said,
last thing I want to
"Go ahead."
yeah, last thing I want to touch on, then I know you got to go. Kentucky Derby horse, once again, not running the Preakness Stakes. I'm getting sick and tired of this bullshit.
What's the point?
Said it last year. I'll say it again. Run a triple. I want him to run a triple crown. Win a goddamn triple crown. At least try to. Congrats to the first ever female trainer on winning. But fuck you. Fuck you, run your goddamn horse.
Yeah.
Unless something serious happened. But I guess it's what I've learned because I've done some deep dive in this. And by deep dive, I listened to Dave Portnoy. Apparently, the Preakness Snakes people are just scumbags of the earth, and they don't take care of the track and things like that. And there's a whole bunch of issues with people that run the Preakness Stakes. That's why a lot of horses withdraw from not running the Preakness Stakes now. So apparently, that's the issue. And it's not good. So, but yeah.
Well, hey, listen, coming back to you, we'll be back to as regular programming as possible. Hopefully Tuesdays again. Obviously, this is all three of us are in some sort of sales capacity, and this is conference season, so we're doing our best. But if any sponsors out there, if you guys want to get this show regularly recorded and posted, hit our lines. But yeah, next week we'll be back to you with PGA Tour, NBA playoff update, NHL playoff update, and then the EPL is coming down to the very end here. We've got Arsenal and Man City both competing to win. It seems like Arsenal's probably going to do it. And then you've got West Ham and Tottenham pretty much as the last two, trying to figure out the third team to get relegated. As far as the championship, the EFL goes, we have Southampton versus who was it? Southampton versus Hull City to see who gets promoted. And then obviously the Champions League final, Arsenal versus PSG coming up. So a lot of sports to come to. I think the next tier, Ev, that we've got to get going probably here in the next couple weeks is the World Cup kit tier. All the World Cup teams will be releasing their World Cup kits. So naturally, nobody asked for us to rank them, and sure as shit, we'll be here to rank them.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be fantastic. And maybe next week, too, we'll throw in something non-sports related. Give some people a wild card topic that would really jump on. Maybe a top five, a hypothetical of some regards as well. But hopefully Charlie will be back with us. I mean, I guess prayers out that he's not dead right now. I mean, I think that would be after no response to us. But, nonetheless, Boone, best of luck in your soccer game tonight. I guess let me know if he makes an appearance there as well. And we'll be back with you all next week.
Sounds good, man. I'll catch you soon.
Peace.
Later.